Overcoming and becoming. Overcoming and becoming, babe. If you want it, then become it. Just let your light shine through you, baby. Who you are, live life in your truth. Sister, love, you're amazing. And life is complete once we see who we are created to be. Overcome and become. Let your light shine through you, baby. Who you are, live life in your truth. Sister, love, you're amazing. And life is complete once we see who we are created to be. We are who we are, meant to be who we are.
Welcome to Overcoming and Becoming. It is your host, Latisa B. Y'all, I have been waiting on this day for months. It is the series premiere of Overcoming and Becoming. And we have a great show for you today. We're going to talk about tapping into your greatness. But before we do that, I want y'all to check out this dress. You see this? The House of Couture. She has sponsored my dress for today. And if you're looking for something to wear that's unique from 2 to 22, she got you covered. And I'm not going to forget my song. Did you guys check out my intro song? Let me tell you, that is my opening song every day when I get up in the morning. It's about overcoming and becoming. Romeo Reese with Blue Dini, he can take care of you. If you have a message that you want to put in a song, he got you. We'll be right back with Overcoming and Becoming.
If you want it, then become it.
The only thing that's constant in this world is change. When you think about your most difficult change, do you get emotional? Maybe angry, sad, or frustrated? If you do, there's a high probability you have not healed the wounds of your past. I'm Latisa B, a certified grief coach, helping women to let go of the emotional pain that's been holding them hostage so they can live a healthier and happier life. To learn more, schedule a free discovery call at workwithlatisa.com.
Overcoming and becoming. Overcoming and becoming, babe. If you want it, then become it.
Welcome back to the series premiere of Overcoming and Becoming. Before we jump into tapping into your greatness, I want to actually talk to you a little bit about the show and what you can expect going forward. The reason why I decided to do Overcoming and Becoming is because I realized that not everyone has a good girlfriend that can give them sound advice. Everyone doesn't have insurance that they maybe can go see a therapist. Not even have the finances to go and see a coach. But I believe that if you can sit here in my show and watch the women, watch me, you will see yourself in us and it will inspire you. And by the time the show is done, you will at least get your first steps forward to taking your next steps to the rest of your life. My journey to becoming Latisa B, it didn't start overnight. I had the vision for this show about 4 months ago, but the journey to becoming Latisa B started about 9.5 years ago. It's when I got that phone call that no mother wants to get. It was my sister on the other end telling me my son had just been shot and he died on the scene. When I heard those words, I was in shock and I tried to downplay it. I told her, "Are you sure he's dead and not just hurt?" Because one thing I know about my sisters, and not just my sisters, my family, they're quick to jump to conclusions. She said, "No, T, he's dead." And she was crying. She was crying frantically. I stopped, dropped the phone, fell to my knees, and I just cried. The night my son died, Latisa Ann Brown, she died too. It has been a journey to becoming this woman you see before you today. She did not happen overnight. When she lost herself, When she died, I had no clue of who I was. For about 4.5 years, I was lost. I knew I was sad. I knew I was angry. I was mad. I was even pissed. But I didn't know who I was. It has taken every ounce of strength in me to bounce back to a place where I can become someone that I didn't know existed. I had to fall to my lowest to get there. And when I got there, I prayed. I asked my Creator, I need your help because I can't do this anymore. I had become a functioning alcoholic because the pain just wouldn't stop. And because I come from a family that has a history of alcohol abuse, I know what that does to a person. And that's not what I wanted for myself or my family. So when I prayed for help that night, I was ready to receive whatever was led to me. And the next day, that's what happened. Don't know how, but I found a grief coach. I found a therapist who had lost his own child. So he knew exactly what I was going through. And he could sympathize and empathize with me and actually give me steps forward to get past this moment in life because I was stuck, beyond stuck. When I saw him, he told me, Latisa, I know what's wrong. You need to let him go. Well, y'all, I did not want to let him go. That was my baby. I don't see how I could live letting him go. He said, you're not letting his memory go. You're letting the emotions go that are keeping you stuck. He gave me my exercises to do, and I went home that night and I did my exercises. That night, I cried so much that my eyes just swelled. Looked like Mike Tyson got a hold of me. That's how much grief, that's how much pain and anger I had buried deep inside of me. Well, that night, when I let all that out, the next day, it was like a burden was lifted off of me. I could breathe again. And I believe that is the night Latisa B, she was conceived. Now, just like a baby, she had to grow. She had to develop. So for the next 4 years, I worked on myself and I developed into the woman you see sitting before you today because I knew that my Creator had a purpose for me. I didn't know what it was, but as I started growing and making the decision and making the choice to do something different, things were just happening in my life. My world was shifting right before my eyes. The birth of Latisa B has been something I never predicted. I couldn't even imagine this woman would be sitting here today. But guess what? That was the plan the entire time. Because I know we were all born with a purpose and blessed with a gift. It took me to say, I'm ready to release all this, to release everything for my gift to manifest. And when I found this gift to impact the lives of other people using my voice, I held on to it and I focused on it. And that is why you see this woman right here today hosting her first TV show, because she found her gift and she allowed her gift to take care of her, because it's allowing her to take care of other people. As we go to break, I want you to know that this is not the end for you right now. I know this may seem like whatever you're going through that you won't come out of it. I may not understand exactly what you're going through, but just know those emotions, they are normal. That is what happens when you grieve something you lost. Grief is not just associated with the death of a loved one. But there's one thing that I did find out about grief is when you do grieve the death of a loved one, you grieve everything that you have lost all your life that you chose not to feel. We're going to go ahead and take a commercial break. But before I take a commercial break, I just want to shout out and thank my sponsor, because without Real Champions League, I wouldn't be able to share my gift with you. We'll be right back after the break.
If you want it, then become it.
Have you been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease or in chronic pain? Issues with your neck, your back, and even waking up in the morning, you just do not feel yourself. It's stopping you from daily activities that you would normally do on a regular basis. Have your doctors failed you? Are you trying not to lose hope? Your faithful appointments, you continue to keep them, and you see there's no hope in sight. Are you tired of fighting your body and ready to win this battle? It's time for you to return to fun, laughter, dancing, and family time. At JWU Holistic Healing, we help you to naturally eliminate your chronic pain so you can start enjoying life the way you want to. For more information, go to eliminatemychronicpain.com and schedule a free discovery call.
Overcoming and becoming. Overcoming and becoming, babe. If you want it, then become it.
Welcome back to Overcoming and Becoming. If you have just tuned in, we have been talking about my vision for overcoming and becoming and how I actually became Latisa B. Now we're going to talk about what does it truly mean to overcome and become. Because it's not just as simple as saying those few words. There's a lot of work that goes into overcoming and becoming. I like to say there's 3 stages to overcoming and becoming. Now you can go online and you are not going to find these stages. This is a Latisa B thing. The first stage to overcoming and becoming is called disruption. This is when your whole life changes. This is when something happens to you, around you, something that affects you personally, that changes the way you see life. It hits you so hard that you don't even know how to process the feelings that are going on. Your emotions are all over the place. They are controlling you right now. When my son died, that change, it had full control over me. I tried to control it. Now, it took over me and it told me what I was going to do. Because I refuse, when I tell you I refuse to feel anything. This is generally when we avoid all our feelings because all of the emotions just succumb you at one time. And at this point, you're not only dealing with what just happened, you're dealing with all the other issues that you never dealt with. Everything that you just push to the side and say, I can't do that right now, or I can't feel that right now. That hurts too much. That's why usually when somebody dies, it's like an avalanche of emotions. All of it come to you at one time. The next stage, this is the healing stage. This is actually when you start overcoming because you have first accepted. This is your life now. There is nothing you can do about what has happened. You have chosen to walk a new life, but you can only do this if you accept that this is your life. You have chosen to feel the pain. And I know feeling the pain, it is not something that we want to do. I allowed myself to feel the pain. And when I allowed myself to feel the pain, this is when I began to take my power back. Take my power back from the grief, from the emotions that held me hostage all those years. Can you imagine being locked up in the place where you're walking through life, knowing you're just functioning? You're not living, you're just functioning. You're numb. Numb to life, just going with the flow because you know you still have to live. Now you can take your power back when you choose to feel. The next stage and the last stage is the transformation stage. This is where you become the woman you were created to be. This is where you have chosen, and notice I said chosen. You have chosen to embrace the life you have because your old life, it doesn't exist anymore. And you're choosing a new life. You're choosing to accept who you have become now because of your change, because you have taken your power back, and that change no longer has power over you. You are starting to control your change now. Your change has become you, and because it has become you and you have accepted it, you are now getting ready to tap into your gift. Tap into the gift that was planted into you from the day you were born. That gift, oh, you may not know what it is right now, but by the time you finish watching the series of Overcoming and Becoming, some sparks are going to start flying. You're going to say, oh, that's what my gift is? Oh, this is what my purpose is? Because we're going to help you unpack a lot of that stuff you've been holding on to. We're going to help you to view life differently. Because remember, that old person, she's gone. It's going to require you to open up and see things differently. You're going to get uncomfortable. I remember when I released one of my books, I had a customer call me up and she said, Latisa, I'm reading your first chapter. And you told me I have to get uncomfortable. I do not want to go back there. I said, if you want to move forward, that's the only way. You have to walk through that, you have to sit in it, and you have to own it. Because until you own it, your life will be on hold. There will be no you. You will be stuck because you're not the old person and you refuse to become the new person. You just stuck here. When we come back, I'm going to show you how you can heal some of those things that's blocking your greatness. How you're going to tap into the woman you were created to be when we come back.
If you want it, then become it.
Let's be honest. Making a lukewarm marketing video is fairly simple. But who wants lukewarm marketing? Instead, how about something that conveys your unique message? Well, that takes creativity, and creative is what we are. We design custom logos. We even offer professional print services. Our goal is to showcase how good your idea is, no matter what your product is. Whether it's social media marketing for a new author or the artwork for the book itself, we can help. You've created a new app and need a TV commercial to show it to the world. We can help.
Now there's Stork Advisor.
If you're a photographer trying to show off your work in a unique way, we can help. Need a promo for your TV show? We can help with that too.
It's Couch Time with Sonia.
We're an artistic bunch and we love the creative process. We're not trying to be the best in Houston. We're trying to be the best for you.
Overcoming and becoming. Overcoming and becoming, babe. If you want it, then become it.
Welcome back to Overcoming and Becoming. If you've just tuned in, we have been talking about the 3 stages of overcoming and becoming. And now we're going to jump into how do you tap into your greatness? If you can remember early on, I talked about our greatness and how we all have a purpose. And that purpose, we're given a gift. But unfortunately, due to life challenges, the pain, the limiting beliefs that we experience about ourselves, we cover our gift up. It's when we use our gift to impact the lives of others, that's when greatness happens. But if our gift is covered up by all these emotions, it's kind of challenging for you to tap into it. I am a grief coach, and a lot of my clients come to me because they are grieving the loss of a loved one. But there is nothing, really nothing I can do to take that pain away. That's a journey that they have to walk. What I found is that the majority of my clients that come to me, they're not only grieving the loss of their loved one, they're grieving the loss of everything that happened. So I decided, hey, if I can help people to grieve when things happen, when they lose someone, because we all know death is a part of life, just as well as birth is a part of life. We can't all live forever. But if you grieve your losses throughout the years, then it will not be like a volcano of emotions when you lose someone that you love. I wrote a book, and this book was called Unleash the Woman Inside of You. And it actually was written as a result of working with my clients, because all my clients, what they had was something similar. They all was talking about either childhood trauma, maybe some limiting belief was coming up about how they felt about themselves, some mental health issue came up. There were always things of the past that we talked about. Well, I said, okay, if all these mothers, if all these women are having the same issue, maybe if I wrote a book, I can help so many more women who are beyond my reach. So before they get to the point where they lose a loved one, they've been able to heal some of those things that's blocking their greatness. So in my book, Unleash the Woman Inside of You, 7 Essential Ingredients, I broke it down into 7 ingredients. Now these ingredients, they're just like baking a cake. You know how we have eggs, flour, milk. They're all independent. But when you put them all together, they will bake a mean cake. Well, that's the same way the book is divided. And I'm going to share some of the ingredients in the book so that maybe if you're stuck, you can at least start taking these steps forward. The first ingredient, it's embracing the life that you have. Because we cannot change the past. If we don't embrace the life we have, we will be stuck and we will not move forward. Except there is nothing you can do about what has happened. Except that what has happened is not your fault. Except that your life has changed and you are not the same person you were. These are the key ingredients to embracing the life you have. When you embrace the life you have, your next step, the next ingredient will be to change your mindset. Changing your mindset is going to allow you to accept something new. It's going to allow you to embrace that life. Because remember, what you were doing right now, it's not working for you. Because if it was working for you, you wouldn't be feeling what you are feeling right now. The reason why you are feeling this is because you have chosen to avoid everything. And I want you to know it's okay to think differently. It's okay to be open. It's okay to challenge the way you was raised, because we know as kids, we are our parents' children, and their beliefs become our beliefs. But if their belief doesn't align with the person that you are becoming, it's time for you to change it. The next ingredient is know who you are. Remember, I told you I had no clue of who I was. And the reason I had no clue of who you was because I defined myself based on my children. I defined myself based on my relationship, based on my job. So when I lost all 3 of them, I really had no clue of who I was. I had to figure out who Latisa was, because I knew who I was as a mother. I knew who I was as a wife, and I knew who I was as an employee. But who Latisa was, she didn't exist. She was just facets of all the components, all the roles in her life. So I want you to figure out who you are. How do you figure out who you are? You'll be amazed. Inside of this book right here, I have exercises that's going to help you. Because if you don't know, the exercises in the book is going to help you to figure out who you are now. One of the things that I did, I'm going to share this with you, because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I liked or what I didn't like. So I had to start trying some things, trying things that I turned my nose up before. I was trying food I had never eaten before. I even tried skydiving. Y'all, that one's not for me. Not at all. But what I did try that I love, I started to give back. When I gave back and started volunteering with any and everybody that was helping people to move from point A to point B, I got an emotional high from that. I love to volunteer. I love to give back. What do you think I'm doing right now? This is the ultimate give back. And when I tell you I am on cloud 9, 10, 11, 12, if I can go up to 100, that's where I be at right now, because this is what I found that I like. And now I know who I am as a woman. I am not my job. I am not my spouse's spouse. And I am not my children's mother. I am Latisa B. When we come back from this break, I'm going to go ahead and share everything that we talked about for the whole episode. Before we break, I want to reach out to thank my sponsors. The sponsor for this segment is Kagan Lane and Kagan Lane Photography. This is an amazing young man. If you're just trying to capture the real, choose him. We'll be right back after this break.
If you want it, then become it.
The only thing that's constant in this world is change. When you think about your most difficult change, do you get emotional? Maybe angry, sad, or frustrated? If you do, there's a high probability you have not healed the wounds of your past. I'm Latisa B, a certified grief coach, helping women to let go of the emotional pain that's been holding them hostage so they can live a healthier and happier life. To learn more, schedule a free discovery call at workwithlatisa.com.
Overcoming and becoming. Overcoming and becoming, babe. If you want it, then become.
Welcome back, and thank you for tuning in to today's show. We talked about tapping into your greatness and healing the things that's blocking it. If you're in a space that you are trying to move forward, but you can't, I have a free gift for you. Go to my website, latisab.com, and you can download a free ebook, How to Cope with Life When You Have a Broken Heart. And before we get out of here, I just want to thank my sponsors, JWU, for their support and what they do to heal people that are in chronic pain. And if you're in pain, just check them out. Until next time, I'll see you then.
If you want it, then become it. Just let your light shine through you, baby. Who you are, live life in your truth, sister. Love, you're amazing, and life is complete once we see who we are created to be. Yeah. Overcome and become. Let your light